Miss Dale's Sewing Adventures. Yeah. Hello, class. Today we're going to start making our sock monsters. And let me introduce you to Gus. This is Gus. He's been with me a long time. If you notice, Gus has 2 ears, 2 arms, and 2 legs. Depending on what socks you use, depends on how big your monster is going to be. So, like I said, remember, make sure your parents know you are taking a pair of socks and cutting them up. They will never be socks again. So here I've got 2 different sizes. We've got the long socks. Now, this right here is going to be the body. So if I use these knee-high socks, you can guarantee that Gus would be a lot longer and taller. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually be using these 2 socks here. Now, these are just socks that I have mismatched. I don't know where the other pairs are, so this is going to be a good pair of socks for me to use for my monster. But if you use ankle socks, think about how big its body is going to be. It's going to be pretty much non-existent. There is not much body to these socks. And remember, the more design it has on it, the prettier the monster is going to be. Now, if you choose to use white socks, that is totally fine as well. To start, I'm going to choose 1 sock and put the other one to the side. That 1 sock is going to be the body. So decide, if you've got 2 different socks, decide which one you want to be the head and the body. The other one will be the arms and legs. So, I think I want this one. No, just kidding. I want this one to be the head. So we're going to take our sock and we're going to form it so that this would be the bottom of your foot. Forming it. Okay, so this is how it would look if it was on your foot and this is the bottom. And then I want to find halfway down. So halfway down would be about here. And I'm going to cut down the toe, right down the toe. Make sure your heel is right here, the whole heel. I'm going to cut down the toe. Oh, that was a spider. About halfway. About there. Okay, so you may have already guessed, but these are going to be your ears. To sew your ears, and that's what we're going to do right now, you are going to turn your sock inside out. So I'm going to start by teaching you how to thread your needle. Now I want you to pay close attention because you probably haven't been taught this before. So I have my needle right here. Here's the eye that you're going to put the thread through. I'm going to take my thread. I'm going to take the distance of my arm. Okay, this is a good distance because it won't get caught up. It's not too long and not too short. I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to cut it. Then, and this is where people start to differ, I'm going to take this end and this end, bring it together. That creates a loop. Everyone see that loop? Okay, that loop is very important. So you're going to take both ends together. Both ends are going to go through the eye of the needle. Okay, if you have a hard time getting it through the needle, you can kind of moisten it. And I want about 2 inches to hang off of it. Pull it down to the side, and you want to grasp the eye of your needle with your finger and your thumb. Everyone see my loop? That's a very important thing, the loop. Then I'm going to take my sock where I had cut, and I want to make sure that each of these lines are directly on top of each other so that I have a point here and that point matches up. I'm going to start in one ear, and I'm going to go from the bottom of the ear up to the top, and then I'm going to slowly bring the thread. See my loop starting to come up to the part where I went into the sock, this is a very important step. You're going to take that needle and go through that loop and catch it and pull tight. Okay, then we're going to do what's called a blanket stitch. I'm going to go about 1 centimeter to the side. I'm going to go up from the bottom, and then see how I'm starting to create a loop here? I'm going to catch that loop. We catch our loop each time we do a stitch. About 1 centimeter over and 1 centimeter down from the edge. I'm going to slowly pull that. Here's my loop. Untangle my loop. There it is. Catch it and pull tight. Okay, I'm going to continue that all the way down the ear. Now I'm starting to run out of thread, so I'm going to show you how to end it. Notice that my edge of my thread is still hanging out. It's not caught somewhere in my stitching. That's very important to kind of pull it as you go. Now I'm starting to run out of thread, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. So I'm going to show you how to end it. I'm going to just do a regular stitch, catch my loop, and I'm going to go in that same spot for a total of 3 times. So I'm going to go exactly in that same stitch that I just created. I'm going to catch that stitch again, pull tight, and one more time I need to catch that loop. Kind of waited too long. Okay, then with this extra, I'm just going to catch some of these stitches that I did. I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to catch some of those stitches and release it. That way when if it comes out, it won't undo all of your stitching. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and start a new one. To start a new one, I'm going to get the same amount of thread, and I'm going to start where I left off. So this is the part where people ask me, now that I've ended, how do I start? Well, just how I started before. So I left off here, so I'm going to go in from behind. I'm going to slowly bring that loop up. There's my loop. And then I'm going to catch it and pull tight. And that's how you start it. Make sure to catch that loop every time. And continue. When I get to this little V, I'm just going to have to do some more stitches. Because imagine that this V was one line here.
Then I change position, so it's easier for me to hold. And remember, we're going 1 centimeter from the edge and 1 centimeter apart. If you need to look on a ruler what a centimeter is, go for it.
Okay, now I'm at the end, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. Go in one spot, catch my loop. I'm going to do that 2 more times. The same spot. I'm going to run my needle back through some of these stitches. Pull it through. Now, if your thread is super long like mine, then you can go ahead and trim it a couple inches from where you stopped. Okay, now my ears are sewn, so I'm going to turn it right side out. Hopefully you turned it inside out before you started. And those are my ears.